Gopher Hockey is brought to you by Northern Tool and Equipment. Quality tools for serious work. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Minnesota, #1 for Medicare in the state. And by Toyota. Toyotathon is on. Head into your local Toyota dealer today to find great deals on your favorite Toyota models. Gopher Hockey is on the air. Here's Wally Shaver.
Hello, hockey fans everywhere, and we welcome you to 3M Arena at Mariucci and 100 years of Golden Gopher hockey. Tonight, the Minnesota Golden Gophers will try to reverse the tables on the Wisconsin Badgers and try to get a split out of this two-game weekend series here on home ice. Frank Mazzocco, this Wisconsin team is a little bit different than we saw them last time. A very good, solid team all the way through their lineup.
Yeah, very different than what we saw from last year, but no different than what the Gophers saw 4 weeks ago in Madison. In a similar situation where the Badgers won the first game and the Gophers had to find themselves in game 2. But I'll tell you what, you were spot on in your early assessment of the Badgers, is that they're not a number 11 team. They easily could qualify for a top 5, and that was a big battle last night between these two top 5 teams.
Golden Gophers came into the game ranked #2 in the country, but boy, we're going to take a look at some video here of the game last night, and it did not start well at all for the Golden Gophers. Just a minute and 4 seconds into the hockey game, a miscue at the Wisconsin blue line by the Gophers allowed Wisconsin's most dangerous player, Cole Caulfield, to go solo on a breakaway, sniped a beautiful shot past Jack LaFontaine to give them an early lead. The Gophers did respond, though, well in the second period, and a beautiful three-way passing play between Blake McLaughlin, Scott Reedy, a behind-the-back pass to Sammy Walker, who sniped a good shot of his own to tie up the hockey game. And then in the third period, the backbreaker for the Gophers, again another miscue, allowed a 2-on-1 break for two of the most dangerous guys in this Badger team, Linus Weisbach, along with Cole Caulfield, to once again go soaring in 2-on-1 on goalie LaFontaine, and Caulfield bearing it for the 2-1 lead. They actually scored 2 more goals in a span of 2 minutes and 18 seconds, right, and that really put the nail in the coffin for the Gophers last night.
Description of Cole Caulfield, you give that boy an inch, he's going to take a mile and a half. He's that good of a shooter, and he's very dangerous. And the Gophers' problems on a couple of those goals, Wally, really started in the offensive zone when they either played the puck carelessly or just flat out turned it over and then didn't recover, didn't get back to make up for their mistakes, and then left Jack LaFontaine out to dry. Yeah. He got 5-hold once. There were just a few guys that were just having those out-of-sync games, and I think that's what Bob Motzko is going to look for tonight, is to get back in sync against the Badgers.
It's really hard to get a sweep, as we know, and usually the team that loses Friday is going to respond with a very good effort on a Saturday night, and let's hope that happens for the Gophers here tonight, eh?
You bet, and I think you have a good conversation coming up with Bob Motzko, and we'll go to that next.
All right, we'll be back with Coach Motzko after this from Learfield IMG College.
Over the years.
You hear the one about the chainsaw that just couldn't cut it? Me neither. Because tools are nothing to joke about. It's why at Northern Tool you'll find serious tools for serious jobs. When you want to get serious about work, get to Northern Tool and Equipment. Quality tools for serious work.
Shop Northern Tool and Equipment this week for our inventory reduction sale. Save up to 65% on storage and organization, power and hand tools, heaters, and more. Shop in-store, online, or get it curbside.
We welcome you back to Golden Gopher Hockey as we continue with our pregame show here live from 3M Arena at Mariucci. Wally Shaver and head coach Bob Motzko. And Bob, a tough loss last night for the Golden Gophers in the opening game of this weekend series with Wisconsin. Just couldn't really get a rhythm going is how I would define it. How would you look at it?
Well, I mean, it was a hard fought game, and you're going to get that. We're February now. You got a team coming in that's, catching us in the standings, and it's going to be a hard game. And we're coming off of 4 games where it was pretty loose. And I didn't like how we didn't tighten up, and we felt uncomfortable playing tight. And, we're going to play a lot of those games coming up, and we've got to get very comfortable at playing tight hockey right now. And, we were just okay last night. We had chances where we could have, if something goes in, we had a couple of open nets, the one especially with Ranta in the third, we could have taken a lead, and then that might have given us some more fuel, but it doesn't come. But what I'm not happy with, and what we're all not happy with right now, is we just didn't stick to the game plan. We kind of got off script last night. We let the hard work get us off script.
Well, it looked like, as you commented post-game with us, and we had obviously observed too, it seemed like a lot of the stretch passes, they just weren't working. It led to icings with face-offs coming back in the Minnesota zone. So I would imagine you really want to tighten up the passing game tonight.
Well, that was just uncharacteristic. It's the first thing we showed in film today is, we're not a long stretching pass team, and we were throwing it up the rink all night long, and it's just not in our game. And we got too far away from the puck, and we weren't moving our feet to get back to the puck. And that's on our forwards to really dig in tonight.
Well, something that impressed me from the Wisconsin side, that is a really good team. It's very deep, as we had talked about from when we played them last 3 weeks ago. But Cole Caulfield and Linus Weisbach, those are 2 tremendous hockey players, aren't they?
Well, Caulfield can shoot a puck as good as any player in the land, and we're seeing that. Last night we give up 2 breakaways and a 2-on-1, and 2 first-rounders got all 3 of them. And you can't give up opportunities like we gave up last night to great shooters like that.
Well, I thought Sammy Walker had a pretty good game for Minnesota. He did a great job on getting free for that lone goal by Minnesota. Now he's got 6 straight games picking up points, so he's really coming on in this half.
Yep, and we have to have that continue. And Sammy's going to bring energy for us. He's making plays now. He's kind of feeling the offense, which is great. We've got to get other lines back on track right now in tight games. I know I don't want to go too far negative because we just came off of scoring 30 goals in 4 games.
Yeah.
but hey, we can all admit the speed limit's going up when you play Wisconsin and Notre Dame next week. We've got to tighten things up right now and get comfortable back in these games. And we'll put ourselves, we've been in them before. This whole group went through it last year, and first part of this year, we'll get back at it.
Well, when you were talking with the team today in the video session, what were your primary points of interest or emphasis for the rematch tonight?
Staying in with what we do. And we had opportunities to get pucks deep last night. We didn't do it. We put it in bad areas. Like we talked the Brodzinski turnover for that 3rd goal. And, we've got to get pucks to the goal line. They're clogging up the middle. They're going to do that against us. It was the film really, we didn't want to really beat everybody up on the film, but it showed distinctly what we were doing poorly last night and what we need to do better tonight. And we just stuck to 3 basic points, and we got to get after that tonight.
Great. Coach, thanks very much. We'll see you Monday for our coaches show.
Okay, thank you.
Head coach Bob Motzko joining us via Zoom downstairs in his coach's office. We'll take a break and return back for more of our pregame show after this from Learfield IMG College.
Frank. It's great to hear your voice. We miss not seeing you on TV, but love listening to you on the radio. And
Welcome back to Golden Gopher Hockey. Our Border Battle pregame show continues, and we're thrilled to be joined by former Golden Gopher Danny Ehrman in this pregame show. Welcome, and hey, and thanks for taking time out of your day. I know it's going to be a busy hockey day for you, going up to see your son play in Duluth.
Yeah, no, thanks, Frank. It's great to hear your voice. We miss not seeing you on TV, but love listening to you on the radio. And yeah, we had a mini mic game this morning, and now we're headed up to Duluth for a squirt game. So all over the place.
All right, so let's go back. Your years with the Gophers started in 03, went on to 06. Would you mind telling us a little bit about the recruiting process? You know, you're a Fargo kid, and, you know, Ptolemy, of course, broke the border barrier. When were the Gophers first on your radar, and then when were you first approached by them?
Yeah, so I get the question a lot, and being in Fargo as a kid, every Friday, Saturday night, you know, first, second, third grade, I would sit down and watch MSC, Midwest Sports Connection. We got that in Fargo, and that was, you know, the Ryan Crafts, the Brian Bonnens, the Crawleys, the Chekos, and every night I'd sit and watch them. You know, we didn't get any UND games on TV, so and initially I became a Golden Gopher fan, and I was the kid at school that would wear the Gopher jacket and the hat, and you know, you can never play for them sort of thing. So I was always a fan. I loved them from watching the days back on Midwest Sports Connection. And then, you know, 16, I started getting recruited, you know, by UND, Minnesota. Were hard on me right away. And I just knew deep down I always wanted to be a Gopher. And it came to be kind of a tough decision until I stepped foot on campus and in the Mariucci. And right then and there, I knew it was done.
Well, you took on some big battles against both North Dakota and Wisconsin, who's this week's opponent. I'm going to start with that penalty shot goal first, Danny, if you don't mind there. This is in your sophomore year, and you started this year with an 11-game scoring streak, which was phenomenal right there. Do you remember much about the penalty shot and scoring it?
Yeah, you know, I remember it real.
And I should say it was against Wisconsin.
Yeah, no, I remember it like it was yesterday. You know, all the YouTube on YouTube, all the people watching, it's probably all my friends and family. But no, what they don't show on that clip though is Kellen Briggs made a huge save. We were shorthanded, made a huge save. I want to say it was a backdoor save, and the puck came out, and someone tried to ice it, and it hit something and just trickled for me to go flying down. And I was tired because it was a penalty kill, and we're kind of at the end of it. And I got taken down by, it might have been Jeff Likens, I don't remember, and went full speed into the boards. And I really hurt my knee. My knee was banged up. But when I saw him do the penalty shot and the crowd went crazy, all of a sudden all that's done. And I'll never forget standing over the puck and just trying not to listen to the crowd because it was so loud. And I still have people telling me to this day how loud it was in there. And in my head, what's that?
There were 10,000 people there, and that was just it won the game. It was the game winner.
Yep.
And our fans are going to be able to see that goal and hear it in our next segment in our pregame show. But I also want to get a real quick thought from you from your freshman year, as you played North Dakota in the WCHA tournament championship game, and you assisted Grant Patulny on that game-winning goal there. As a freshman, that had to be a big thrill for you. You also had 14 goals that year.
Yeah, you know, I actually started the year off real slow. I don't think I had a goal in 10 games to start the season, something like that. But yeah, that was something I'll never forget. You know, back and forth against North Dakota, just an absolute rivalry, tough game. I got a backdoor pass. The puck just slid to me, pretty easy tap in. And then the game winner is in the corner with Grant, and we somehow got the puck out, and Grant does what Grant does and scores big goals, and nothing pretty. He just gets it done, and that was a fun night. Yeah, I'll never forget that either.
Danny, thanks for joining us. COVID protocol dictates that everything on the air this year is shortened. Thanks very much for your time. We're going to have to visit with you again sometime soon in the near future.
Hey, thanks, Frank, and go Gophers. Let's get that win tonight.
Union, proud sponsor of Gopher Athletics. When you bank here, we're on the same team and you're golden. Affinity Plus wants to ensure you're getting the same excellent member service that you would experience in the branch from the comfort of wherever you are. Video banking is now live with your Affinity Plus team. From new memberships to new loans or even general questions, Affinity Plus employees are eager to help you through this new channel. To try this out, visit affinityplus.org and select Contact Us. Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, Richard from Wiper Mitsubishi here, inviting you to scan on over to Wiper Mitsubishi, where Gopher hockey fans will find some incredible savings on Minnesota winter ready for
watch party, like Ritz Cheese Crispers, Ritz Toasted Chips, and Ritz Crackers. Shoot into Cub Foods to score your Ritz products now for the ultimate hat trick.
And we're back at 3M Arena at Mariucci. 15 minutes ago for face-off time, Wally mentioned, and you heard Danny Ehrman and I talking about some extraordinary goals in this long and historic, bitter border battle rivalry with the Wisconsin Badgers. So first of all, we're going to take you back to Danny Ehrman's penalty shot goal. In 2004, it was November of that year. The teams were ranked number 4 and number 5 in the country. Remember, Ehrman is just a sophomore. The game was in the third period, and it was tied at 2. And Gopher fans had not seen a penalty shot goal in 12 years. Doug Woog and I were there.
Danny Ehrman, who has been on a scoring streak for the Golden Gophers, 7 straight games. He's got a point in this game already with an assist on the first goal. It's been a long, long time since we've seen a penalty shot. This would be for the lead. Listen to this crowd. Tied at 2. Here we go.
Unbelievable. We've got COVID here in an empty building. 10,190 people were in the arena that night. All right, we go to the next season, and we go to January of 2006. Now we go to the Kohl Center in Madison. 15,000 people are in the building for that one, and Madison native Phil Kessel makes his first and only weekend trip back to play against the Badgers. The game, again, is a slim Minnesota lead, a 1-goal lead, third period, and again, the teams are both ranked in the top 5 in the country.
2-on-1 with Goligoski. Kessel down the left, going in, he shoots, his goal!
Take that, you stinking Badgers!
Phil, the thrill! And he's
how do you like that?
He's holding his glove to his ear.
How do you like that?
Booming now, Badgers! He's holding his glove to his ear.
How do you like that?
Booming now, Badgers!
You think Glenn Sonmore was happy on that one? What a beauty. All right, now let's come a little bit more to near history. 2012, it's the Nate Schmidt goal that we have talked about quite a while here at 3M Arena at Mariucci. And in this game, it's the last game of the regular season in the WCHA, and the Gophers would claim the McNaughton Cup, that prestigious trophy, outright. The game is tied at 1 in the middle of the third period.
For a minute 35. They dump it in, it bounces in front. There's a shot by Sacchetti, and it's cleared, but not out. Great save by Schmidt. Steps around one, fires, he scores! Yes! 2-1 Gophers. They want to win the McNaughton outright.
Oh, what a play by Schmidt.
Yes.
Unbelievable. He had to stretch. He fell down, had to stretch.
to keep the puck in. And what have we been saying all night? Get the puck to Schmidt so he can shoot it.
Yes.
And that was a rock.
I see. It was so good. It was a great moment. And just to hear fans back in the building, boy, I can't wait till you guys are back. That's for sure.
Miss that a lot.
Miss it a lot.
Yeah. Well, let's get into some other scores from around the Big Ten and other games being played. It was a weekend series with Notre Dame going into Ohio State, and the Buckeyes losing on home ice last night 6-1 to the Fighting Irish. It was worse today. Notre Dame coming up with an 8-1 win. They scored 3 goals in the first, 3 more in the second, and 2 in the third period. They're actually up 7-0 before Ohio State finally scored a goal. Nick Lieberman out of Eden Prairie had 2 goals in that game for the Fighting Irish. Ohio State outscored in that weekend series 14-2.
Oh, they're hurting.
And Minnesota goes into Notre Dame next weekend. Penn State was going to be playing at Michigan Wednesday and Thursday. That series was postponed due to a COVID outbreak on the campus at Michigan. And one other game is the Michigan State is idle this weekend, so nothing going on there. We've got more coming up on our pregame show. Stay with us after this from Learfield IMG College.
Teams are on the ice here at 3M Arena at Mariucci, and it's time now for the highly acclaimed Frank's Forum, which is going to take a circuitous route here. Before we get to scoring leaders, we want to bring you up to date on what's happening next door at Ritter Arena. The Golden Gopher women were trailing in their game at one point, 2-1, but a third period goal by Grace Zumwinkle, her 11th goal of the year, sent the game to overtime. They completed overtime with no further goals. I'm assuming they're going to a shootout, but we don't have shootout information yet. So the ladies are going to survive or salvage something out of that series. Wanted to give you a quick look at Minnesota's scoring leaders because we rarely take time to do that. But the top of the Minnesota list looks like this, with Sammy Walker on top, tied in points with Ben Myers, but Walker has 2 more goals. The goal scoring leader is Sampo Ranta with 12, and then Blake McLaughlin is in there. And a quick look now. Actually, I have a little time here. I can ease through this a little bit if I can find my right piece of paper. Wally, you've seen me do this before, haven't you? What we're going to is the Gophers against the Badgers. Got that figured out here right now. Don't worry.
I know you've got it.
It's here.
You've got stats.
It's here. I've got, if I can just find the right page. This is beautiful, isn't this? It didn't print. Well, it had to have printed because I took a picture All right. Can you bail me out? No, I guess you can.
No.
We're going to take a break and come back with stats.
Yes,
Keys
we'll
to the
do
game.
that. Keys of the game and starting goalies. That's coming up next after this.
It's right here. I know I've been
From Learfield IMG College.
Teams by following Gopher Sports on social media. Follow Gopher Athletics on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and delivered to your inbox every weekday and Saturdays during the season. Visit gophersports.com/Gopher Daily to subscribe. Hey, Rosie here. When you're shopping for an SUV, you're looking for more than just average. Of course, you're looking for great, which is why you need to stop in and test drive Honda's best. The all-new 2021 Honda Passport. This car drives like a dream. It powers through any road conditions with available all-wheel drive. It has versatile cargo area, just perfect for carpools or camping. And of course, safety comes first with Honda Sensing Standard. If you're looking for something more, it's time to look at the Honda Passport. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Wally Shaver, Frank Mazzacco back here at 3M Arena at Mariucci. Time for our...
found it.
You found it? Okay.
No, later.
Starting lineups are brought to you by your local Northland Ford dealers. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. Wisconsin has been flopping their goaltenders every game so far this year. They're doing so tonight. Cameron Rowe is in goal. He's 5-1 overall with a 1.58 goals against average and a 9.46 saves percentage. Outstanding numbers for the rookie goalkeeper. Jack LaFontaine back in goal for the Minnesota Gophers. He's in the senior season, and he has a 1.54 goals against average and 9.43 saves percentages. We got two outstanding goalies playing a game tonight.
Absolutely. You can ask me about keys of the game?
Keys of the game, and they're brought to you by White Bear Mitsubishi, where it's always a power play of savings. Cars, four-wheel drive SUVs, and even hybrids. White Bear Mitsubishi has the vehicle for you. Visit the Bear today.
Watch this segue. Ready? The keys to the game are the top scorers against the Gophers, against the Badgers, have to step up in this game. See how smoothly go right into what I was going to talk about. And those would be like Sammy Walker, who has 6 goals in 10 games against the Badgers. The leading point scorer is Brandon McManus with 15 points in 15 games against the Badgers. And then Reedy and McLaughlin each have 10 points apiece against them. But more than all of that nonsense that I've just jabbered about, they've got to get in sync. They've got to play more as a team, not so much as individuals. There are a couple of guys who were invisible last night. They got to pull it all together.
We'll have the opening face-off coming up next after this from Learfield IMG College.
Talk about Wisconsin speed.
That's a good point. Minnesota back in the rush. It's Sorensen down the right wing into the corner. Bumped into the wall, but still has the puck. Now there's a penalty coming up as, boy, he railroaded one of the Badgers, and a couple of Badgers are coming over to have a discussion with Jackson Nelson, who threw the big hit.
Well, Tarek Baker took a hit in last night's game as well, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, TV didn't catch that hit.
At least not live, they didn't.
And he's down on all four right now trying to get up. He was flat on his stomach, so.
And that's the first thing I'm hoping for, is that we let, then, you know, the athletic trainer, whatever the injury is, they let a guy get himself up off the ice.